So we have a few rules for probabilities. The probability of an event, written as the probability of E, must be greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So in other words, we want to write this as an inequality. The probability of E needs to be greater than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to 1. Let me fix this. So if I give you the probability is negative 0.2, is that a probability? No, because it has to be between 0 and 1 or equal to. What if I said the probability of shooting a free throw is 1.02? No, because it's higher than 1. So again, it has to be between or equal to 0 and 1. And the next one, the sum of all the probabilities must equal 1. Okay. We will get some more practice in a little bit after we talk about probability models. A probability model lists the possible outcomes of a probability experiment and each outcome's probability. Rule 1 and 2 must be satisfied from above. So let's look at this example. We have a bag of M&M candies. The colors of the candies are right here. The table shows each color and the probability of drawing that color. Verify this is a probability model. Okay, so the first thing, are all these numbers, or the probabilities I should say, between 0 and 1? They are. None of these are negative and none of these are above 1. So each probability is equal to or between 0 and 1. And then the second one we need to check, do they add up to 1? So add these all up together, and they do. So this is a probability model. This right here, again, is a probability model. So if an event is impossible, the probability is 0. Okay. If it is certain, the probability is 1. The closer to a probability is to 1, the more likely the event will occur. The closer a probability is to 0, the less likely the event will occur. So for example, an event with probability 0.8 is more likely to occur than an event with probability 0.75. An event with 0.8 will occur about 80 times out of 100 repetitions of the experiment, whereas an event with probability 0.75 will occur about 75 times out of 100. So if we had 1 in here, we could say it would occur 100 times out of 100. That's why it's certain. And if it's impossible, we would replace the 0, this 0.8 with 0, about 0 times out of 100. So this would be impossible. Okay, but now what makes an event unusual? This is an event that has a low probability of occurring. You have cutoff points of 0.01, 0.05, and 0.10. So unless this is stated otherwise, we will use 0.05 as our cutoff. So if it's not stated, it's assumed it's 0.05 is our cutoff. Okay. Otherwise, if they want a specific cutoff point, they will say one of these three. Now, be careful. If it is 0, that's impossible. It is unusual, but you need to say it's impossible because it cannot happen if it's 0% or 0 probability. Okay. There are 3 methods for determining the probability of an event. The first one is the empirical method. Second is the classical method. And the third is the subjective. We're going to look at the empirical method first.